All right, the next one. Number 2, this is supposed to be an easy one. Tangent x times cotangent x. All right, here's the deal. We're trying to simplify all of these down to one word. Okay? All right, Connor, I need you to look at the top of your formula sheet. What does it say tangent equals?
Sine x over cosine x?
Yeah, let me see yours.
You talking about right here?
Yes, sir. All right. Guys, do this for me. It says on your formula sheet, tangent x equals 1 over cotangent x and sine over cosine. Y'all see that? Ryan, I need y'all to cancel this one out. I was supposed to fix that before I passed it out to you. We're only going to say tangent x is sine over cosine. So I need y'all to fix that on your sheet for me so you won't mess up. Okay, right here at the top, y'all see where my finger is. Tangent x equals 1 over cotangent and also sine over cosine. Blake, we're not even going to recognize the 1 over cotangent. I just want y'all to have sine over cosine for that. Now, the one right beside it, y'all see it? Cotangent x equals cosine over sine and 1 over tangent. Would y'all mark out the 1 over tangent, please? We don't need that one either. Yes, sir, mark it out. All right, so now that we have the right formulas written down, watch how easy this is, guys. It's really not bad. Blake, what are we going to, well, never mind. Connor's already said for tangent, we're going to write down sine over cosine. All right, for the next one right behind it, cotangent, we're going to look on our sheet and we're going to write down cosine over sine. Now let me explain something. I'm kind of jumping into this. When we simplify these, Ryan, if it's not a sine or a cosine, Blake, in the original problem, we've got to switch it out to whatever it says on the sheet that says we can switch it to. Y'all follow me? If it's not a cosine or a sine, we got to change it. So I changed that one, and I changed that one. Now watch what happens. Cosines cancel out. Sines cancel out. What's my answer? Okay. So these are not going to be that bad. It's just going to take a couple days to get. Question. Ask me a question. Do you understand where I got this from, Blake? I looked on my formula sheet and it says I can change tangent into sine over cosine.
Where does it say that?
Show him, Michaela.
Wait.
At the top. All right. Then, Blake, I changed out cotangent. I looked right beside it and it says I can change it into cosine over sine. The reason I'm changing it, guys, is so I can cross stuff out. That's why we got to change it. All right, Jacob, we good? All right. Now, guys, we're going to see some of these that y'all have questions about. Don't go to another problem until I answer your questions on that one. All right, number 3. I got 1 over sine squared minus cosine squared over sine squared. All right, something y'all are supposed to know about common denominators is, Connor, if they got the same thing on the bottom, both of these have sine squared on the bottom. Y'all see that? They already have a common denominator, Levi. So I'm just going to write sine squared on the bottom of one fraction, and I'm going to combine the tops of these fractions into the top of one fraction. I can do that because I had the same thing on the bottom. So y'all need to write down 1 minus cosine squared up top. All right, write that down. And does anybody have a question what I did on that step? That's a new step y'all haven't done in a long time. Finding common denominators of a fraction. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. Anytime, Levi, we have something that's got a squared in it, doesn't matter if it's sine squared, secant squared, cosine squared. If it's got something squared in it, Connor, we're going to look on this section that says Pythagorean identities, and we're going to switch it out. So, can y'all find somewhere on there, in that middle section, what does 1 minus cosine squared change into? All right, Clifton says sine squared. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, right here. Top right, 1 minus cosine squared equals sine squared. Now, I'm going to erase this and replace it with sine squared, and then I'm going to stop and see if anybody's got a question. Anybody got a question? Jacob? Now, y'all can see why we wanted to do that. Because now look, sine squared cancels out sine squared. What's my answer? Okay. We're trying to simplify these down, Blake. When I get done, my answer should either be 1 or one word, like sine or cosine or tangent. It can't be all the other stuff. Question. Let's keep going. Have my video going. Now, I don't really want to do this for an hour and a half every day. I think 45 minutes a day on this stuff is plenty. And we'll just do some different stuff besides this. 2 cosecant squared x minus cotangent squared x. All right, here's the deal. I just said this a minute ago. What did I say about any time you got something squared, what do we need to do? We need to look on our formula sheets and see if we can replace it with something else. So y'all look on your formula sheets. I don't even have one. I don't know, there it is. See if y'all can find cosecant squared minus cotangent squared. Is it on there? It says 1. Hey, that's going to make this problem really easy. You are saying we can change that out to 1? Well, then look, 2 times 1 is 2. As long as it's on the sheet, it's going to be 1 on a test you should not miss. Good? Now, we're going to have them later where it doesn't equal 1 and you got to work it out, but that's later. All right, let's go to 5. Do I need to explain anything about 4? Y'all not asking me any questions? Okay. All right, number 5. All right, 5's another easy one. We got cosecant x, cosine x, and tangent x. All right, somebody explain to me. I've already answered this one time. How do I know which one's out of these trig functions I'm supposed to change? If it's not a cosine or a sine, you got to change it. So, what can I change this one into? Look at the top of your formula sheet. What does it say you can change cosecant into? All right, so we're going to change that one into 1 over sine. Everybody good? All right, Jacob, do I have to change that one? No, if it's cosine or sine, you leave it. So we're going to leave that cosine over 1. All right, Ellie, do I have to change that one? What do I change it into? And if you forgot, look at your sheet. Sine over cosine? Okay. All right, does anybody see anything now we can cross out? Now let's think about crossing stuff out. You can cross stuff out if it's directly on top and on bottom, or you can cross stuff out if it's on a diagonal, but you can't go side to side and cross out. So we can cross out that sine with that sine, right? Because aren't they on a diagonal? I can cross out that cosine with that cosine. What's my answer? If we could do this sheet, I'll just give us one sheet on this today. We'll do something else after this. But I don't want to do this before break and after break. It gets to be too much. Let's don't go to sleep now. This again, guys. We got to have a test over this Friday. No. Hey, I'm showing y'all the easy ones, and I promise you this: if we have 12 problems on Friday's test, I'm going to make 8 of them the easy ones, or 7 of them the easy ones. I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of hard ones. All right, let's go to another one. Now, we could make this extremely hard. Y'all going to see later, but I'm going to try to keep them simple. All right, number 6. We got sine x plus cosine x and tangent x. All right, Blake, there's only one of them up here I got to change. Which one is it?
Tangent.
Very good. Look on your sheet. What did I change it into? Should be at the top somewhere. All right, Gracie, I don't want you working on your phone today. Let's focus on this for a few minutes. At the top, what did we say tangent changes into? Sine over cosine. You might have to show Blake that, Michaela. So I got sine over cosine. All right, question about the first step from anybody? All right, now let's look. Can I cross anything out? Good. Everybody understands I can cross out these two cosines. All right, so what do I have? Well, I got sine x plus sine x. What's my answer? Good, Clifton. Isn't there a 1 there, Weston, and a 1 there? So 1 plus 1 is 2 sine x. Now remember, as long as our answer's got just one word in it, we're good. If it has more than one word, you've messed up. All right, that one was a little bit different than what we've been doing. All right, let's keep going. We got 20 of these, so we should be done before break. Well, good gosh, there it is. All right, what's the next one? Next one says, number 7. Sine x 1 plus cotangent squared. All right, guys, I said something a minute ago. What did I say about if you got anything that's got a square on it, what are we supposed to do? See if we can change it out. So y'all look on your formula sheet in that middle section that says Pythagorean identities. Blake, we want to see if we can change 1 plus cotangent squared out for something. 1 plus cotangent squared. I see it right there. Now, on the sheet it says, yeah, it says cotangent squared plus 1. It's got it flipped around. Same thing. So I can put cosecant squared in that spot. So look, I'm going to erase it, and we're going to put cosecant squared in that spot. Does anybody have a question where I got that from? All right, now here's something new for you. At the top of your sheet, guys, what does it say cosecant x can change into? 1 over sine. All right, good. So what do y'all think cosecant squared then can change into?
2 over sine?
Close. If cosecant's 1 over sine, cosecant squared is 1 over sine squared. Now, Blake, that's not written down anywhere on your sheet. That's something, Levi, we're just going to have to know going forward. Does that make sense to everybody? If you need to write it down, you can, but I don't think y'all need to write it down. I think that's pretty clear. So, I'm going to change this cosecant squared into 1 over sine squared. I'm going to erase it and put 1 over sine squared. All right, now it's going to work out really easy from here. What happens, Clifton? What's my answer, Clifton? Whoa, hold on. That's only sine, and that's sine squared. Okay, I about messed up. All right. Did I write it down right? Yep. All right, so here's what we got to do. This is 1 sine x, just one of them. How many sines are down here? 2 of them. So what I can do is mark 1 out from here and 1 out from here. So my answer is 1 over sine. Now, can I change that into anything? Look at the top of your page. What does 1 over sine change into? Cosecant. So my answer is cosecant. All right, we need to stop there. Somebody's going to have a question for me there.